And when mind is completely free, the mind will only reflect on the real truth. Religion is only subjective. No, it is both subjective and objective. I can confirm my experiences from the scriptures itself. They had the same experiences as I have experienced.
What did you experience when you done that? The
53 days. First 10 days are the hardest. So you're dragged into that. And then you see animals. They are huge.
I want to say thank you for this opportunity. The way this has happened has just been out of this world, in a sense.
Us meeting too. Yeah. It's an accidental,
Yeah.
but a planned, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. When I came here, the first feeling I felt is, wow, everyone is so welcoming. Why is Hinduism so welcoming to all these other religions and all these other people?
Because Hinduism teaches universalism. Everything, every aspect of life, it includes. That's why you will see that the Hindus are vegetarian. So great respect for all beings, whatever your beliefs are, however you look, whatever the species you are, everything is celebrated.
Wow.
Yeah, the life is celebrated. And in Tamil, that Tamil is also, most of the Tamils are Hindus. In Tamil, they say, it comes from the ancient Hindu teaching, yeah? Yadum ure, yavarum curli, which means all worlds are ours. Every single one is our family. Everything that exists is the children of God. Therefore, everyone is our family. Everyone has different opinion, different beliefs, but everything comes back to the one point. That is the Supreme and its children. So, acceptance of all belief systems, respecting, not only acceptance, respecting other belief systems and embracing them is a main teaching of Hinduism. That's why you will see in India or Sri Lanka, there are so many religions. They live in peace with each other, very peaceful, harmonious. There are rough elements here and there, of course. But in general, principle is that harmonious living with our surroundings and coexistence, not just human being, everybody. Whenever we see someone in the temple, because we strongly believe gods exist within us, yeah, and there is a reason scientifically we can now, objectively we can demonstrate that, because science has advanced. Yeah? If we have time, we'll come to it. But therefore, without the God inviting you, you cannot come here. So no matter who enters here, we know it's in the invitation of our God. Yeah? So for us, here you are, and no question. It's just another family member has come in. That's how the elders here and then those who are strongly following Hinduism, that's how their nature will be, embracing and happy to see a long-lost family member. That is the kind of feeling.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And the way that aligns to me, because I was in the meditation before I came here. And in that meditation, I see Lakshmi. She's like, yeah, just go. I was like, are you sure? It's okay? I was a bit afraid. I was a bit like, should I actually be coming here? Is it rude? This, that? Yeah. But when I came, it was perfectly aligned.
Because you came upon the invitation from Lakshmi herself.
Oh, wow.
There she is seated here, But when we say, we'll come to it. There are 33 gods in Hinduism we pray to, yeah? And their nature is universal. It's universal in everywhere where we as science or even human, we see as particle world, cellular world, molecular world, inside the body, so outside the bodies as well. But when you shift your awareness to those worlds, there you don't see particles of that. Those particles that we see from outside or even from outside inside, they appear in different forms and shape and, in so many different ways. So these gods, the 33 gods, we can actually objectively demonstrate by matching in the scientific observation and also the ancient religious texts like the Puranas, the Vedas of the Hinduism, on the Upanishads, the explanation of all the gods. Say for instance, just on one god, yeah, this is about Kanda Purana. Kanda Purana is just on Lord Muruga, his origin, why he came about, what is the purpose of his being, and what he did, and all those things. Now you take that and look at the pineal gland or pineal gland in some countries they will call it. If you look at it, its activities, its shape, its form, its nature, perfectly match inside us. But here we think it's localized, but it's the same pineal gland inside you, inside a fly, inside a, what do you call, mosquito, everything, anything and everything. Even those that we cannot see, they are in there. Yeah? So they are universal as well as localized. So this is how our karma is determined, because the spies are inside us. They determine our karma, yeah, our activities. So when we say that she invited you, the Durga, what we call as an inner dura manager, science may observe it as. But when you shift your awareness through the recommended method, you follow that recommended method, we'll come to it later, you will reach that state of witnessing your own world as well as the world that exists here. And there you will see that where they see the nature of Durga exists, the nature of the inner dura meninges, and its shape, its functionality, its activities, its interrelations, its origin at the very beginning of the species, all that will match the description of Mother Durga. And then when you shift your awareness to see it, from external awareness, going into the dream world, and then you stay in the meditative state, and then you reach the third state called Agaram, Ugaram, Magaram, the third one. And then the Bindu is the last one, non-awareness or complete awareness of the self alone. When you reach the third world, like when we reach the dream world, we have a particular space of, we enter a particular space where the past and the present mix together, or the recent present mix together, you have dreams, yeah? It's creating your future experiences inside, Some of them eventuate, some of them actually direct your path. They all have a profound effect on us. Same way, you continue to stay for 30, 35 days, as it's described in the method. There you will reach that prajna world. There she is there, yeah? So if she is the brain, one of the major brain organ, one of the most important brain organ, the inner dura meninge. So she tells you, come. Or she has shown herself to you when you are in meditation. Obviously, that's why someone who meditated 5,000 years ago, they see Lord Shiva. Someone who meditated 1,000 years ago, they also see Lord Shiva. Some they claim to see, yeah? These are those who claim to see, yeah? And then the same description they give, or similar description they give. And then someone meditated 500 years ago, or 200 years ago, 100 years ago, they will all say, yeah, this is the description of Lord Shiva, this is what. So how do we know all this? Because they exist inside us. They existed at the very earliest days of this universe. And then as we know, because of our, even if you look at it, the peripheral body, how it evolved, the peripheral body, the primal body still remains the same. And the primal body need to be inside for the next generation to come, the next generation to come, and the next. That's why we call genes, yeah? The amoeba of the ancient time, the very first existence of this earth, according to science, even the genes of that we hold it, So our pathway has all these memories. It is needed. That's why a fish can swim in the water. Right. Hereditary. Yeah. It doesn't have to. Otherwise, yeah. So the hereditary, the memory of the hereditary. So that goes all the way back. So the same way, meditation means in one single thought. You are going back in your memory, all the way to the very beginning. And then that is not only outside, the information is everywhere, it is also inside.
Wow.
So you just had to get to the point that you were conceived, you will see everything taking place. You know, your memory, you take back your memory by removing memory from yourself. By, when you are in meditation, the mind is slowly let go of all these memories.
All right. Yeah.
Slowly going. In the end, after 20-25 days, there's no dreams. There won't be no external experiences. You have deprived the five senses. You are deprived. Fasting. This is the fasting. Yeah, in every religion, this fasting is given. That is the secret method. That is the method.
Yeah.
Nobody tried that. When you mean, you mentioned that, that you meditated. But fasting means you actually fast 5 things.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get the ultimate of fasting, ultimate result of fasting. If you just fast your body or the food body, of course you're going to get so much of benefits. Then the 5 senses need to be fast. You need to fast all that feed these 5 senses. We have, by the taste we fast, the vision we fast, closing our eyes, and then the smell we fast, and then the touch we fast, yeah, and then the sound we fast, hearing. These 5 you fast, continue to fast over 30 days. That is the ultimate fasting.
Wow.
Then you reach all these world, the world of the gods. There they are. So when people say that religion is only subjective, no, it is both subjective and objective.
Yeah.
I can confirm my experiences from the scriptures itself. They had the same experiences as I have experienced if I walked the path that they walked. Not only the Hindu scholars and Hindu saints walked on that path. If you look at Muhammad, he went always in the wilderness, meditating. And then when he came back from the wilderness or wilderness, he brought back Quran after so many days in the wilderness. Fasting. Jesus went into wilderness, in Mount Sinai. After 40 days, he come back, from Mount Sinai, seeing the God and expressing the existence of God. Moses went into wilderness, came back with 10 commandments. In Hindu religions, there are so many, Gauri, Nonbu, Ayyappan, Vradam, and so many fasting over 35, 40 days. You fast these 5 elements, these 5 senses, these 5 bodies that we have, Annamaya Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. You fast all these 5 bodies inside. They let go of the mind. And when mind is completely free, the mind will only reflect on the real truth, the absolute truth. That is the self. That is the final liberation. That is the self-awareness. Anyone who follow that 45 days, this method. So there's an objective method there to confirm this. And then to confirm all this that is written here, written there, So God does exist. God does exist. You will see beyond all those existence exist the nothingness. That is the Prabhanja, the ultimate light. That appears when there is nothing else, and there is no memory when you reach there. So you are invited here, young man, by our own God. They said, "Come." Yeah. Thank you.
I feel honored to be here and to be invited.
Very powerful. Kundrathu Kumaran Temple. The story of this temple,
Yes.
the story of this temple is just magic. The people of the north of Melbourne and west of Melbourne, they were looking for a place. They couldn't find a place. Then they find a place for $330,000 in 2000, somewhere around there. But 33 acres. They were looking for only 7 or 8 acres. But in the 33 acres, it was a farmland. They can't build anything. Still they bought it. And then they were allowed to put a shed. And then they start, selling dosas, These are all very highly acclaimed. There are engineers, doctors, all kind of people, from all walks of life. They come together, start doing it, and then they build this. Yeah, and then also when they actually start looking for a place where to build the temple, they found a tree there where the Lord Ganesh is now. Yeah, at the entrance. Talking about Lord Ganesh, I'll explain about the goal. Sitting at the entrance of heaven. If this is heaven, he is sitting here. And so there they did the sweet chakra there. They had to do that. Okay, they said, okay, under this tree. 6 weeks later, they come. Yeah, bush everywhere. So it was a farmland or bushland. Yeah, they bought bushland for 33 acres of bushland for 330. That great tree there, it opened up. You can see the pictures there too. It opened up. The same Ganesh that they prayed to, his shape came out of the tree with the trunk, with the legs, the elephant legs, and then the elephant toes on both sides, and then the belly. And then appeared. They took the photo. They realized, okay, this is where Lord Ganesh wants to be. So then they were looking for a place to build Moolavar, our Murugan, extremely powerful being. Pineal gland, they call it, the scientists, from looking from outside. Great finding. But those who actually went beyond the senses, go through that 30 days, 40 days, they saw, of meditation and all that. They see him as Murugan. So just give you an example. The power of meditation and power of the knowledge that is kept inside us. The blueprint of the universal history is in our cranial sacral body. If you can get through the center of the sacral bottom, the earth chakra, and then you start traveling, you will see the whole history of the universe. According to that, what they have claimed is red color. They call him subworld because he's red.
Okay.
Science also know the pineal gland is red.
Well.
They call him Palan because he never grew. He still, after this many million years, there's one part of the universe, he still remains the child. Yeah? So Palan, because there's past, present, and future cease to exist, yeah? One time, when everything come together. So much, I'm trying to condense everything into one, yeah? So Palan, a baby. Here the science observed the pineal gland is the only gland that doesn't grow over the age of 2. Remains the same. Yeah. Whatever the shape is. And he is called Senadipati. That means he is the king of the celestial warriors. King of the heaven. King of the heaven means he's the commander-in-chief of the army. Yeah, the celestial army. And then here you will see the pineal gland is the controller of all neurons. The neurons. The neurons is what we call the 330 million, a specific group of neurons. 330 million devas, we call it. They are the 330 million specific groups of neurons covering, the entire bodily function is, highly regulated by them. The devas, protecting us, fighting for us. And then he is also the king of the Sambadai and Vambadai. The red cells and white cells, the science call it. Vampadai means the white army. Sambadai means red army. So here we call it red cells and white cells. Yeah, and then he's the king of. He replaced, according to this book, there used to be another king, old king, Indra. He's the original king of the army, but against this asura or the negative, demonic, passionate life. Those who choose to live passionate, and also they are not ever living. Okay. Yeah, they are not immortal. Yeah, so they took over the control of the body. Yeah, so everybody is passionate, and so Indra lost the fight, and he lost the kingdom of the heaven. So comes the Murugan. Yeah, out of the third eye of Lord Shiva, the supreme consciousness. Lord Shiva is just the supreme consciousness itself, the life given by him. He reflects on life. On the other hand, we have Vishnu. He is the king of this world, all this material world. Yeah. But here, Lord Shiva is the supreme of consciousness. So they both are equally essential for existence of this world. So everybody went and complained. Indra ran, the king of the celestial world. He ran and said, Swami, I can't. So all other gods went to Lord Shiva and said, you gave him all the power. That's what, because that guy, he prayed to Lord Shiva for 12,000 years, they say. Yeah. And he got all the power from Lord Shiva. He cannot be killed. He cannot be done this. He cannot be. And then, so when they prayed to him, he said, okay, from my own self, that I will bring him forward. So from his third eye, he comes out. So hot. Yeah, fire itself, because he came out of the fire itself. Yeah, so hot. And so they had to run through, put him through the Ganges, holy river Ganges. And then he runs through there and then brought up by Kartikeya, the six stars. So now you look at it here. The river Ganges is what we call in science the cerebrospinal fluid, the holy river Ganges, running through the matted hair of Lord Shiva, which is the third the dura meninges, the final meninges. There are triple meningeal layers. So one correlate to Lord Shiva and Shakti. The other one correlate to the second one is, you can go on and explain. So basically, the most ancient brain organ in our body, according to science, is one of the most ancient, is our cerebellum, the small brain. The small brain. Match exactly the nature of Narayan or Mahavishnu, and Lakshmi. And then the conscious mind or the cerebrum is actually Lord Shiva and Shakti. Thalamus looks exactly like Ganesh. He is seated at the very entrance of the temple. Here also, you cannot pass, the science say, all higher cortical intent, all higher information that are going to brain have to pass him. He is the judge of all beings, Lord Ganesh. In Bible, someone similar to that is explained, that is Jesus Christ himself. They both sit on the right side of the God. And then here the brain ventricle matches exactly the same shape of Om. The Lord himself is seated in that. At the very entrance, these two children stand, Lord Muruga and Lord Ganesh. One is the sound, one came out of the sound, one came out of the light. The Supreme itself, the left, the right, and the third brain ventricle, and then the fourth brain ventricle. Om, Agaram, Ugaram, Magaram, Bindu, the four states of consciousness. External world of consciousness, dream world of consciousness, God's world of consciousness, and self-awareness. Agaram, Ugaram, Magaram, Bindu. The four, the shape of the Om exactly match the shape of our brain ventricles, the four brain ventricles. The fifth one, that is supposed to be there, and then the God actually is in the form of creation, Maha Brahma. He used to have the fifth head, and Lord Shiva pulled his head off because he did something not so right. We also have the same problem here.
Okay.
We have 5 brain ventricles, one is non-function.
Oh, really?
Yeah, So the universal history is in us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? So everything here. So when you come here to pray, into the temple, the way in which it's all formed. So if whatever they said these gods exist is true, if whatever they said the god exists is true, because now we can objectively prove that they are there. And the method that they gave us, if it can be also repeated, if we can repeat it, it's scientific. Yeah? If it can be repeated and you can witness exactly what the others witness, which can be done. There's no doubt, no if and but about it. It will be done, it can be done. Only if we can stay on one point of meditation, yeah? One-pointed meditation over 30 days. Then, when they say, the same people who said these two things, if they say, come and do these prayers, come and pray this way, come and do this when you are in trouble, come and do that when you are in, and come and say thank you when you have reached this, and say thank you in this way, pray in this way, all must be right too. Yeah?
Has that been, because I've been looking up how long this has been practiced for, because I found that Hinduism is actually a lot older than all the other religions. It says down that the Sanskrit was 3,500 years ago, but you just said that it was 5,000 years ago, you were saying?
See, these days they say the Sanskrit that we can go back to, is the evidential thing goes back to 3,500. But if you look at those people who spoke about these goats and like Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna speak about it, it's 70, 80,000, millions of years old. All these languages, all these information, these are very old, and when the world goes through the destruction, all this knowledge is destroyed. And then they are unearthed again. And there won't be any evidence of it, yeah? When we went through the Ice Age, all these things destroyed. And then then the new system comes along, and all these goats take form. How do they take form? Say, I have a pineal gland, yeah? If the pineal gland is highly active compared to everybody else, say 80% more active than everybody else, I will have the nature of that goat, Murugan, yeah? God Murugan's nature will be. If the small brain, cerebellum is extremely active, by nature they take form by taking form inside us, in the brain. Yeah, they take control of those who have the nature, the goats, the nature of Vishnu. It can, if it comes in and activate itself inside one being, then he will have the power, the wisdom, the knowledge of Mahavishnu. Same way as Lord Shiva, if he's taking thing. When cerebrum is fully active and completely activated, then that person will have the more of a nature. At the same time, a lot of people are demonic. And, they want to kill, they want to destroy and all those things. Because the bad elements take over. And then they become extremely demonic. In this world, in Kali Yuga, it is said 80% of the people will be demonic. 75, 80% of the people will be, because the passionate people come. Okay. They have taken over the brain organs and control. In this book, before Muruga was born, the demon was ruling the world. Every god and the devas and all the celestial beings have to take his order. When Indra went to complain to Lord Shiva, what he was saying is, all my army is fishing, but we are vegetarian. He forced us to fish. So, you understand? So the nature can change.
Wow.
So they will come time and time again. It is stated time and time again. Even Jesus say in Bible, I took birth because it was written in the scriptures. I had to come. If it's written in the scriptures, that means these things repeat again and again and again and again, time after time after time. So the great beings will come. So it has been practiced well before the time. Language of our time, only 3,500 years. If science says that is true. It will be only 3,500 years. But the information of all these beings have existed for long before that. Information of Lord Shiva, has always existed. In our modern world, that's all we can go back to the evidential thing. But information has always been there.
It's so interesting how that's all connected to science. And that's just like...
No, connected to nature.
Connected to nature.
One
nature. Yes.
Look from two different views. Yeah, one nature. There's only one nature. There's only one you here, yeah? I can look at you with my eyes all closed, everything shut, I can still look at you through my inner senses. Yeah? You may appear differently there. Or I can look at through my external senses. So when I am actually perceiving you with my external senses, all right, this is how you appear to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you would appear in my internal sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's nature.
That's nature. So when you are looking at by using tools, they are the tools that we call it microscope, telescope, or scanners and all that. They are extension of our external senses. Yeah, they can only aid us to look what is bit more clarity than what we can see with this. The information that transformed or transferred into our brain organs can never ever project how the object itself is perceiving itself from a different conscious field.
Right.
Say, I cut myself here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut myself here. And then I open up. There were cells. There are nerves, and the cells. But those cells, they had a culture there. Yeah? Those cells had a culture. They are multiplying. They are actually doing a job and all that. They have a conscious experience there. We do not see that yet, of their conscious experiences inside. But those who have been there, they don't see cells anywhere. They see beings, existential experiences. You go into a world, even if you shift your awareness from external world to dream world, there you don't see particles, molecules, or anything. You see existential beings. Yeah? Where do they exist? They exist somewhere. Maybe in your brain, maybe in your mind, maybe in your thoughts, but they take forms and shape. Yeah. The question is, are we also a dream of someone else's?
I always think that is someone else.
Are we the dream of someone else? We can keep on arguing on these things. I don't want to talk about things that are just subjective and just speculative things. Let's talk about the things that we can objectively tangible. That we can see.
What you're explaining with nature, it reminds me of this thing called a double slit experiment. And they can't explain why the particles or the atoms suddenly change when they're observed.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the nature, right?
They exist on a straight line, linear existence, then become wave.
Yeah.
Wave existence. This is what it is, because they are aware when we look. Or when we look, when we are looking, we cannot see their nature, one or the other. Yeah. As we are observing, the wave is appearing. When we are not observing, some great philosophers of the time, past 300-400 years ago, they asked the question: when I turn my back away, does that world cease to exist? How can you prove that it doesn't?
Is that part of like what you guys call the Maya? Or is it? That's it? Yeah.
See, one of the great philosophers of modern time, René Descartes, he says, I think, therefore I exist. And so many, even today in Western countries, they study on this you have to do some, if you're studying arts or philosophy or something, what does that mean? I think, because we all think that I exist, therefore I think, yeah? That is the normal way of thinking. I exist, therefore I'm thinking.
Right.
Why would he say, I think, therefore I exist? But same thing, that if you go back thousands of years back, the explanation of Om, yeah, it says that it's called A is Vashvanara, Agaram. Agaram is external world of consciousness. He is known as Vashvanara. The same soul is called Vashvanara. The same soul, when it becomes aware of itself in the dream world, is called Tejas. So they changed the name for him.
Okay.
Same soul. Yeah, because he's aware of internal and external body. Yeah, the intermediary body. Not internal and external, intermediary existence. Yeah. Then the deep world called Prajna. The same soul, when he enters the world of the gods, yeah, a lot of people don't know that you can enter the world of the gods because they don't do that method. Yeah, they don't believe in that method. Nobody has ever practiced it. That is the failure of science, I would say. Not that I totally believe in the existence of science. It's the only way to realize the true nature of God. Because it can objectively also. But the failure of science is before they claim that the body existed, and then the religions are wrong because they claim Bible claimed that the world was created in 6 days, but we were they were talking about what we call a particle world or the molecule world. That is what the religion is talking about. It was created in 6 days. Its reflection, you would see that taking place when we are conceived. The first 6 days, what take place, the expansion, and then what is actually coming out. That is taking place. What is explained in the particle world? You can see that happen.
Is this the Bible? In
Genesis, the first 6 days of its explanation. Even Manu Samhita says he was alone, and then he created the mind, and then he created the Akash, then he created the air, he created the fire, and then the fire became water, and the water became so the 5 elements. They call. The Greeks believed in that. The Romans believed in it. Believed in that the elementary world that was first existed, and then the middle scientists before the science was when science was a infant, receiving some knowledge from it, they claimed this all was wrong. Right. Which is good because then all the wrong perception of religion was pushed aside. It's been dead for a while now. Yeah, it's all wrong perception anyway. Well before science even came along. Now that science is there, the method is there, and then the knowledge is there. When all come together, there won't be a fight between religion. There won't be fight between people on the name of religion because they will all know. How can I say I'm a Christian? Yeah. All right. Murugan is pineal gland. Vishnu is cerebellum. Shiva is cerebrum. Yeah. Durga is inner dura meninges. Brahma is the brain ventricles and the pia meninges. Yeah. And then he's Adisheshan, Vishnu lying down on a 1,000-headed snake. It's the Nagam, on Adisheshan, the myelinated axons that the small brain is embedded in, the myelinated axons, That, all these goats, the 33 goats are our 33 brain organs. How can you say, I don't want you, you are dirty, you are bad, you are this, you are that, Embracing will take place by itself when the knowledge arrives. Right. Embracing each other will take place once the knowledge arrives in you. Everybody is loved. Everybody is taken care of.
I think that's the nature, right?
That will be the future.
Yeah. So Hinduism is the study of nature.
Hinduism is revelation of nature.
Revelation. Revelation of nature.
Revelation of nature.
Yeah.
It reveals what nature is. The entirety of the universe, as well as us, that's what is revealed in Hinduism.
Wow.
It's a complete text, completely realized text, and there is no changes, no need to analyze it, improve anything. All we have to do is learning to understand it more and more and more and more. Advancing as the science advances more and more and more, we will understand religion. So the prayers will come into place. How do you actually the natural way to when you come here, there's what we call Snabana Abhishekam, or 1008 chanting of Lord, any Lord, 1008 different nature of one single goal. All the things that he can do. So here he is in the same shape as he exists in all species. He's in the form of statue there. Okay, they're chanting this name to one statue. Is reflecting, and the way in which they are attracting all these five different energies by using the colors, into that. And then it actually forms with the sound waves. The mantras are actually the sound waves bind together to form, create a formation. Yeah. So this formation is continually, as you chant and chant and chant, it creates that nature. So you are coming in from there, yeah? You are hearing this chanting. Whether you understand the language or you don't understand the language, mind knows all language, yeah? So you are seeing referential and reflecting. When I see you next time, as soon as the eye see it, it will go and download all the information about you. Oh, we had a thing, and then I ask you about the past and this and all those things. Same way, you are walking in, millions of years old, billions of years old, yeah, sitting there in the same shape and form. We are hearing all the things that it can do. The brain is absorbing. It's searching for reference and reflective. It fits this goal, yeah. And that goal that is active, yeah. The pineal gland is active. It's or pineal gland or whatever you call it. Or we call it Murugan, yeah. He's listening to all that. He goes, yes, I am listening. Yes, I am. And then you submit yourself, and then you're activating them. Then the clarity comes.
Yeah.
Then the determination comes. Then the blessings comes. And then the revelation comes. And the decision making is much more better. You start making decision in a better way. What else? And then when he get activated, he's the Arupadai Murugan. Arupadai Murugan means for 6 battle camps, he's the king. Here, pineal gland is the king of 6 endocrine organs. Yeah, same story, different language, different way of looking at it. So you activate the 6 battle, all these 6 get activated more. There is no illness, there is no disease, there is no sadness, blissful state, complete surrender. But the body has a karmic cycle that it has to go through. But when you surrender yourself, yeah, when you surrender yourself and then give back to who is running this show, it's like, basically what it's like, a clerk claiming that entire board of this mass company and the CEO, he's the king of it. Yeah. A clerk working in the... That's how we think that we are controlling our life. Yeah? We do have control over our life. We do have control over our life. We do have, we can get whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. But the better way of doing it is just go for whatever the mind is telling you. But at the same time, give back the responsibilities to those who are actually in action and who really have the responsibility of doing this. 90% of our activities are internal, and we don't have control over it. Yeah? Are we every time a virus come, are we going back and telling our body, oh, virus is coming, you fight? They know. They know, yeah. The brain is the one who is telling. They are the gods. Yeah. That's right. That's the gods. They are the gods. They're telling you. And submitting to them and start talking to them. Right. Ask your brain. Yes. Have faith in it and then say, whatever you want to call it. What do you think I need to do? I trust you. Tell me. Muruga, you tell me. He will tell you. Oh, Jesus, you tell me. Oh, Allah, you tell me. But complete submission. Submission and submission and submission. Don't be the clerk running the show. Be the CEO running the show.
That's so interesting, because the meditation method that I've been practicing is about nature. It's about letting go of control, letting go of trying, letting go of focus, and allowing nature to run the mantra. Allowing nature, and then when you do that, you process a lot of thoughts, and then you end up deep diving into, I believe, the brain instead of like being in the way all the time. So it's like getting out of the way. Get out of the way, and then once you get out of the way and you allow nature to take you there, it's just Well, I've practiced a lot of different meditations for a long time. I worked at a shamanic store. Coming from Jehovah's Witness to shamanism, I've experienced a lot of different things.
form of belief.
Yeah.
If you believe, it will take place.
Yeah, 100%. What you believe, it will exist. What you,
But the
in a
only thing
sense.
is that not allowing other existential experiences are as equally real as and equally beneficial as these is the problem.
Just allowing.
The inclusiveness must be there. When you say, oh, their practice is demonic, the Hindu worship, a lot of religions say Hindu worship is demonic.
Yeah, they think that because of the external image, I believe. And then when I, like, if I put my brain back to like a Christian way of thinking, this is quite scary in a sense. You know, it's like, oh wow, all these things.
It's our brain organs.
Yeah, exactly. In its nature, it's just.
But in Hinduism, there's another level.
Yeah.
We have Aruva Valivadu,
Okay.
Uruva Valivadu, Uruva Valivadu, and Uru Aruva Valivadu. Especially the three. Aruva Valivadu, Uruva Valivadu, Uruva Valivadu. Uruva Valivadu means praying to the beings there and not there. Uruva means that has form. You pray to the formation of God. That is this, Uruva Valivadu. And then Aruva Valivadu is we pray to nothingness too. That is also taught in Hinduism. Hinduism is expansive to your need.
Wow.
This to my view, after going through so much of experiences in my life, what I see here is those who are busy, those who are participating in the expansion of this universe, in the ongoing existential realities of this universe, they are godly as well. Not the one who sit there and meditate. One who does his job godly. Yeah? But for them to stay in touch with reality, to stay in touch with what is actual, what is permanent, what is a guide, in that, this is the best form of praise, best form of doing it. Because they are so busy with other things. See, a man who was free like me, and I was so free, so I could meditate for 53 days in solitude. And then I could go through that period of experiences and all that. I'm a free, But not everybody has that free time. So how do you actually move forward?
That's very true.
If you really look at the world, those who are very poor, the mother and father will be so struggling, but they are always submitting themselves to God. They never got anything. Yeah, they died poor or they died whatever. Or even their children had trouble. They died poor, but they still continue to pray and all. But the generation come, got everything. The second or the third or the fourth, somewhere all these come and then, So we never cease to exist. Okay? So like I work so hard in this life. See, our limited thinking is what our problem is. Yeah? I work so hard and I want to reach certain achievement. I want to achieve certain things, a house, a car, or this, or, something for my children and something for my grandchildren. And then I work, and then sometime I don't get. What they don't see is they are working through so many generations. We have our ancestors in the form of genes inside us.
Yeah, right.
Don't we? That's why my eyes is like my grandfather's.
Yeah.
So we have their genes. What is making of this body is cellular body, yeah? And then the genes, and then the DNA, and all that. Information, where is the information coming from? From my ancestral lineage. Yeah. So, we never cease to exist. That's what this thing, I think, therefore I exist. Wherever I think, there alone I exist. Agaram, Ugaram, Magaram, Bindu, yeah? Within these four, I'm always traveling. That's what the secret of Pranava Mantra, the secret of this existence, was only known to Muruga at one stage. He was jailing everybody. He jailed even the creator. He said, what is the secret of Pranava Mantra? Pranava Mantra is the core information about creation, preservation, obscuration, and destruction. Yeah, those are the five jobs. He goes, what is the secret of Pranava Mantra? Brahma said, no, I don't know. The God of creation. He goes, Why you create? Go in the jail. And then Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu all came, and then they said, oh, please, please, please let him. He goes, no, no, no. And then the father, Lord Shiva he goes, even I forgot. What is it? So he goes, I'll only tell you. And he jumped in his ears. That's why he sits in the lap of the father, and then tell father the secret of the pranav mantra. Yeah? We never cease to exist. So fear of death, fear of losing, sadness of losing, all these things are unnecessary. We used to celebrate, in Hinduism used to celebrate death.
Oh, wow.
Even in many parts of India, they still celebrate with the drums and music and all that, dancing, celebrate the freedom of the soul. They used to, because it never ceased to exist anyway.
Yeah, you'll keep going.
Keep going into, taking the body after body after body after body. That's why you will find that the people who believe in that kind of system, they don't stress too much.
No.
Their stress level is much, much less than the stress level of so many other belief systems. Yeah, where you can argue what is right and what is not, ashes to ashes, this to this. We also say ashes to ashes. We put Tirunur on our head, the holy ash on our head, because that's where we come from and that's where we end. That's what we, the supreme consciousness itself.
Wow.
Tell me. So when you went into things, you had the vision of gods.
Yeah, so what happened was I started doing this meditation, and I feel like it has a bit of ethical implications because I feel like they've taken it from the Hindus, and then they've monetized it in a certain way. But beyond that, coming from different meditations, Jehovah's Witness, shamanism, deep diving into all that, and then I never liked meditation person because it was always like I'm forcing. I need to do this, mindfulness, all these things. And when I tried this, I was like, oh my goodness, this works. It not only works, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like you're finally resting your mind in a sense. So yeah, I was like, oh, they say it comes from Vedic text, ancient Vedic text. That's where Maharishi took it from.
Some of them are called Mahamantra.
Mahamantra. Okay. And
or the Bija mantra. They're different. Yeah.
So when I started doing it and doing it more often, and then I found more information about the mantra and stuff, I actually had Lakshmi. But I don't want it to be like, I don't know, I don't want my ego to get involved. Does that make sense? Because I had a lot of feelings towards, shouldn't we be honoring Lakshmi instead of this other place that's just taking money, And I just felt like, there was a disconnect in my heart in that way. And I had to keep meditating, and then I saw Lakshmi, and I was like, oh, should I speak about this? Should I say it in a video of what I feel? And it's like, yeah, okay, say it. And then after the video, it was like, okay, go to a temple and pray there. Okay, and that's when I came here.
She's invited.
Yeah.
Lakshmi is seated in the, she's, we have a shrine for her, with Narasimha. She's powerful. And existing inside us. So when she is highly activated in the body, naturally for some people, not for some people, for most of the people. Or you can also, by praying to her, asking for her, continually connecting with her. Of course she's listening and all, you're waking, if you want to say it in the Western style, stimulating. Stimulating the existence of certain organ,
Part of the mind.
Yeah. In the cerebellum, she's located in the old ancient thing, Mahalakshmi. So by talking to her, you are connecting. Eventually, you will reach. Whatever you ask for, it will be given. If you keep on focusing on something, you will get. Otherwise, what happens is, they will be functioning at the level what you are naturally born to experience. Yeah, but when you keep on trying, a lot of people, a lot of scientists I have seen, they're accidental scientists.
Oh wow.
There's a lot of findings, a lot of great findings, including Einstein. The theory of relativity. It's an accidental thought that led him to, release something. So many people, it's something we always look in the nature. Something is falling all the time. Yeah, we never ask the question, why is it falling? And then someone turn around and say it's gravity. And then they gave us the reason for gravity. And we know the sound is faster than light. By observation, we all know, but we never look at it in a detailed manner so that we can explain it in a scientific way. We know we see a horse first coming. Little later, we hear the sound. So the light has arrived to us first in the mountain, from the mountain to now, and then the sound comes later. We know, but this is all in the nature. The science is in the nature. The existential, these internal experiences are in the nature. There is like you said, why chase?
Yeah.
Why chase it?
Yeah. Why chase it?
Why chase it?
Chase it.
Yeah, why sit down and meditate and chase.
And that's what I used to do. Because I've done like the Silver method. I've done many different methods, mindfulness. I've done letting go, past life regression, all these things.
See, when people ask me this question, did we chase? I wouldn't say I was chasing. The interest come. The interest come from somewhere. They are the gods, Of course, they're going to create interest,
Right.
And those days they say, in our grandparents and say, God knows everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't see the God.
Yeah.
Now I know they are right. God knows everything because they are without brain knowing anything, it's not going to happen,
I wanted to ask you, because like it's been running in my mind. You don't have to, if you can't say anything about it, you don't have to. Well, what's the ethical implications of taking something from Hinduism or Vedic, and then people using it to gain, I guess, monetary value without honoring Hinduism?
See, these all are, as far as I'm concerned, these all are meant to take place. I don't see anything negative. I cannot see anything that take place. Oh, they could have done it this way or that way. Sometimes I say, but I can see why it didn't happen that way. See, now,
It's because the information wouldn't have been taken in.
That's right.
Because people weren't ready.
And people won't take something. That's the nature of human. I won't take anything if there's nothing in it for me.
Okay.
What is in it for me is the first question they ask. What is in it for me? So the brain knows all these things. The gods knows everything. They go, all right, put a little bit of money towards it. So the story spread. Look today, all around the world, the word yoga is known. Every household knows the word. All around the world.
Yoga.
How did that happen? It happened only because people saw that they can make livelihood by teaching yoga.
Right.
They can teach yoga, and they can something very touching, something very internal, something very healthy, something that, at the same time connecting with the community, giving something back to the community. But in the meantime, I am also making money. Very attractive. Yeah.
So if I was to like do a meditation class or something, and I'm like, okay, I have something, but I don't want to keep it to myself. I'm not going to exactly do it how other people, because I want to respect their rules. If I do a class, help people out, and then donate half of it to Lakshmi, is that a good thing? Is that a
whatever you think is good.
okay?
I
had that idea. I was like, okay.
See, some people, I know from just looking at recent history, some people charge extremely high money. where $5,000, $10,000 they charge just to teach simple practice of yoga. Yeah.
Wow.
But they are worldwide. They're popular worldwide. Very powerful. Some people wouldn't even charge any money. Free. Classes are completely free. And they are also popular. Yeah. These, we just try. Whatever you feel like, you try. Not necessarily this will be the be and an end all practice. You continue to follow that path.
Keep learning, keep practicing.
Yeah. Then you'll get there, or you change somewhere along the way. So some stay straight. I don't believe in directing someone because I strongly believe the guru is inside each one. And then I also know the goats are also inside.
That's interesting because, like in shamanism, it's very much like that too. They take a certain brew, they do a certain ceremony, and their learnings are from the other side, And
that shamanism is similar to Hinduism, and you would see all other religion, most of the religion, they do have people go out and propaganda and try to convert people, and we don't have a registry for Hindus.
I wanted to ask you that. When I came, I was like, wait, how does one even join or practice or do Hinduism?
Because God is inside you. When you come, we are like, God has brought another one, And then when your time comes, He will take you back. There are so many great devotees of Lord who can't come to the temple because they are so busy looking after their family, or their sick mother, or their sick father, or their sick child, or whatever. But great devotees of God, God, He doesn't. They don't. They don't have to come. They can be there and pray. But there is a time that God say, all right, time to come and charge yourself. Charge
And
it.
you just feel it.
Yeah. And then He will invite them. They will come. Wow. We don't have to go out. You will not see anyone promoting Hinduism.
I've never seen it.
No, you just, And then we also believe what I learn will eventually get out of my head and without even me opening my eyes. I mean, opening my mouth, also my eyes. Without we even open our mouth, I just need to continue to learn because we are interconnected and we are universal. Once I learn, it will just spread through. It might take time, but it will spread through the consciousness of other minds and other brains and other things. They will come. I don't have to sit there and explain, oh, this is how the world is, this is how this is, come and pray, come and this. None of this, that's why you would find the Hindus don't stand there and promote things because it's built in their belief system. God will take care of it.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. It is. It's like it's really a revelation of nature. Because you're allowing nature. It's like nature's working.
Everything. They do say, try. Try your best. But leave the decision to God. Whatever the outcome is, leave it to God. What I find it, in my path, it may not be good for anyone, but that was my path,
Well, I wanted to ask you. What did you experience when you done that? The
53 days.
53 days.
See, in few words, first 10 days are the hardest. But before that, I went to do Vipassana in Lilydale in Melbourne. It's a 14-day silent meditation.
Okay.
You sit there and meditate but you do have breaks now and then. And then also before that, I went to India to going through South India temple, Murugan's, Arapada Murugan's house. And then second time I went, just to try to stay connected anywhere. And then when I came back from India after 1 month, I went into Vipassana, prepared myself there. Then I thought I was ready to do this 53 days because I knew this is the method that they mentioned, in all religion. I just want to see before, rather than trying. Here is a practical thing. If it's there, why not try it? So I went into the solitude. First 10 days was, it was like all confusing, and you want to give up every moment. Every moment you want to just give up. No, it's not. It's like normal, nothing is happening. It's like I meditate, for half an hour or 1 hour or 2 hours, or even, 10 hours you meditate. And then, nothing happening. Nothing. The thoughts are running everywhere. Negative thoughts, continue to discourage you not to do this. All these things, and then you sit there and still chanting on the thing, and then just observing the breath that is going in, and I'm coming out, and then om, put the om to it, and then sending it in and sending it out, and not sending it, watching it going up and down, and then eventually you start. And then in the early days, you can eat. In the early days, you train your body. You have already trained your body to eat at 6 o'clock and at twice. So that you're still maintaining that eating pattern. So at 10 o'clock, you will get hungry. It will wake you up, and then you come and eat, and then you go back to meditate. Thoughts are flying, everywhere, and you wanted to keep the thought in one point, and then you think, and then after a few days or 7 or 8 days, you can see these thoughts that are running around. All right, there is a space coming in between them. The space start appearing in between them, stillness. And then you go, okay, that is encouraging. And then the space get bigger, and then the space get bigger, and then the bigger. You are meditating for the same amount of time. Before you are just thinking you are meditating on your thoughts. You're actually watching your thoughts running around, or you actually engage with the thoughts and you run around with the thoughts, and then you grab it and then grab yourself and bring yourself back, and then you run around this way, and then you bring yourself back, and then you run around this way. This was the first 7 days, catching yourself always running away. So discouraging. I did all this meditation, I can't sit here because this is new, so I am anxious. How am I going to go through these 40 days? I'm anxious and I'm worried and I'm this, no matter what you try to tell us, there is some doubter inside you. That doubter is always throwing things at you, And then when you see the space, some kind of thoughts, some kind of, and then in the first 7 days, a lot of breathing exercise like the Kapalapati, Bastrika. You can also practice some mudras, Sambhavima mudra. And also you can practice Ujjayi, Pranayama, different kind of things you are practicing, and you're trying to get the gas ratio right, and then the pH level in the cerebrospinal fluid, trying to get it to a certain stage. And then when they all change, the hormonal balance changes, the mind can get really calm and stuff. It takes till 7-8 days, And then you don't know. Nobody, no other people have tried it, So I'm just trying different things, and then one day you go through, and then you can stay still for a long time, just the feeling of it, and then nothingness, and then you start going through the dream world, and you're starting to, your eyes are closed, but in front of you, it's like on the theater that you are watching. It's like on the theater that you are watching on the screen, right in front of you, these worlds start appearing. You can see that, that it is just in front of you happening, and then after a while, you get dragged in, and then it's like you are actually mentally ill and you're hallucinating kind of thing.
You're like you're there now.
You're there. You're there. And you are now you are in their world.
Wow.
And then like you and I are talking, then you forget that it was the screen.
Right.
So
wow.
First you see it on the wall, If you're on a white wall, this happened to me quite a lot. On a white wall, you just sit there and then you're just forging and then you're focused on the thing. And then these things start appearing, And then I'm thinking, okay, mentally ill people, what they see, or the hallucination is starting. And I'm like, am I really going mad? And, no teacher to ask, And then so after some time you forget where you are, And then suddenly you see yourself, you're like a dream. You are in that world. But the figures that you saw on the wall, they are there. So somehow you're dragged into it. And then you go there, and And then you see animals. They are huge. And most of the time where I find myself is I'm not allowed to go anywhere. It's like barriers on barriers on barriers. Slowly, slowly you break through them. Slowly, doing nothing, just by observation. You see yourself running. Running from one and grabbing on this and jumping out. All those things. This is another 7, 8, 9, 10 days. All these like chaotic experiences. Chaotic experiences.
Did you speak to any other beings in there? Did you have conversations?
See, they do converse. I don't respond. Now, there are so many suggestions, so many things. But that I know. Don't engage.
Okay.
If you want to go further and further, you engage, you stay. Yeah. So you don't engage.
Don't engage so you can keep.
You just observe, yeah. And then you observe yourself being engaged in that world anyway. And then after 30, 31 days, you see a kind of different, yeah. It's also in the mind, yeah. People will say it's because you studied, you read, you this, you that. You start to see the godly figures that you are praying to, yeah, conversing to. There you converse, yeah. You can ask questions. And then the people, the scientists will say that's because of your belief that you saw it. But amongst them, one of them actually taught me how to actually look for information, how to match, where to look for and all that. Very brief, I was dragged up. I was watching myself, yeah. I was dragged up the sky, one put the hands down, dragged up. There's this, next moment, there's this sand everywhere. And there are sandstones and writings on it, a different language. So it was starting to explain to me, but I couldn't hear it. The one who is watching didn't hear it. But there is another one like me, is listening to it, hearing everything. See the difference?
Okay. So this,
Yeah.
with it's like your awareness.
The one,
that
you remember I told you there are four,
Yeah.
the same being, here, there, there,
yeah,
and they all have different names.
Yeah, yeah.
Without going too much details into it. The one is watching, where the other one is listening. From a higher one. All the secrets of it. Yeah? And then come back. And then I come out of it. And then once I came out of it, I see, within 3 or 4 days, I see a picture of Lord Ganesh. Yeah? On an anatomy book. But it's not Lord Ganesh, it's actually thalamus. First I thought, okay, Lord Ganesh book in thalamus, in Gray's Anatomy book.
Oh, wow.
I go, what is that? And then I look, and it's thalamus.
Yeah.
I go, what? And then I start reading, yeah?
Yeah.
It wasn't an accident. Now the mind is connected to reading, I start reading. Everything it says about Lord Ganesh is explained as thalamus's experiences, or its activities and, its interrelations and relative.
Wow.
So, just a small story. Actually, Lord Ganesh, when he was told, whoever go around the universe, come back, they will get the mango. Mango, they were, the father and mother had one mango. So 2 children, yeah, Lord Muruga, our god here, and Muruga, he jumped on the peak of his vehicle, he went around. Ganesh went around, his vehicle is a little mouse. So when I saw his picture, underneath is called subthalamus. Looks exactly like the mouse. Not only Ganesh looked like Ganesh, the one that he travels in the Gray's Anatomy book, looks exactly like a mouse. That's how it looked like. And then when you listen to it, and it only go through the central nervous system, where pineal gland is actually the controller of the peripheral nervous system, external body that travels he went around the universe. Ganesh went around the father and mother, the outer and inner dura meninges. The central nervous system that travels through the cranial sacral body alone. I was like, wow. And then now it's giving me a different, because when the polarity, the polarization of collision take place, yeah, collision of ideas with the brain take place, yeah. When you are reading, now I am seeing, I'm translating it differently.
Right.
Because this is different now. It's switched to a different light, yeah, when it's perceiving it. So it's telling me different stories than what I would have if I was normally reading it. Anyone else reading it, they won't see that. But now anywhere I turn around and look, Jesus Christ, Genesis, Quran. In Quran, it says 72. You kill 1,000 infidels on earth. You will be received by 72 angels. So here people go around and kill everybody. Yeah, now, misconception of what is there. But here it taking place. There are actin filaments, they call it. Yeah. There are 72 actin filaments here, 64 in the head, and then 52 along with the chakras. Yeah, they are there. The specific group of actin filaments. The 72 actin filaments, they appear as angels. Yeah, the earth chakra is at the end of the spine. So if anyone penetrate that through the Shushmana, that's a little thing that it is unpenetrable. But if anyone enters through the Shushmana, they actually take control over the brain. So anyone come to attack the Sushmana, any demonic, those who actually protect so if they kill on the earth chakra, those cells or the neurons or the white cells or the red cells or whatever, is protecting, you kill them, you can enter through the purity, through the Sushmana, and then you will be received by 72 angels here. You remain in the brain cells. One of the, they are not brain cells. They are highly elevated beings in the brains. The brain cells, what we call it. These are rishis, the munis, the high gods, and the higher beings. All live here. Some of the neurons live forever in our head, from the birth to death. So many stories. Anyway, so as you can see, as that 30, those information got down, suddenly, but even then, I didn't want to speak. After 2 or 3 questions only I asked, because I was in doubt. But then I realized I shouldn't speak, because I want to reach the final. Then even that world started to no more goats. Suddenly I can't see any goats, but I wasn't even... Whether you open your eyes or you close your eyes, what you have is just white light in front of you. Wow. Just light. But now and then, here and there, few dots of blackness. Now, if we close our eyes, all I see is black here in front of me. But there, if I close my eyes, or if I open my eyes, I see all this. Even if I open my eyes, there's nothing in front of me. Even if I close my eyes, nothing in front of me. No memories. Nothing. Yeah, you are no memory of anything that is taking place in that area. When I came back up and I'm trying to think, I can remember something happened before all these beings, and then 7 or 8 days passed, no food, no sleep, no nothing happened. Yeah, but you were there somewhere, and suddenly the whole house was shaking, because you are not allowed to go past. So the nature has turned itself. That's how I felt. Maybe the house wasn't shaking, but a mind played a game in my head, making. So suddenly I became aware of. So when that I remember, when I remember hearing the thing shaking, I was seated like this. And then first, I remember taking the first breath. It was like, because I was just being revived. This body is dying. Yeah, it's dematerializing itself into light. That's what I was trying to do.
Wow.
Because someone called Vallalar in South India in 1870, he disappeared. He wrote a book about, merging with the light. And then he wrote the method as well. And then one day he went in, then he disappeared. Only one drop of water where he was sitting.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought, without trying it, how do you know whether it's true or not? So I thought I will get to that stage, hopefully. But this thing happened, and then I was like all in pain. And so anyway, once I came out of that, I didn't want to continue on that. So I finished and came back.
Yeah.
But
what you've taken out of it, the information, that's...
maybe you're supposed to share it before you go on. you know. So I wrote a book called Reality of Relativity. And then
How do,
that was 13 years ago.
how would we, if other people are watching, how would they find your book?
Eh, I just self-published it. All that book says is certain breathing exercise for certain things, and then for even for very very serious illness, there are breathing exercise for it, and then also all matching. All different religion, like I mentioned already here, about matching. This is how it is, and all, and then also how what will happen in the future. A little bit about it. That book, I only made 50 copies.
Oh wow!
And then I had Federation Square there, had a fire pit, and I burned the copies in there in front of Yara River. And I only have one copy for myself, and another copy is in what you call in Victoria University in Canada.
Wow.
But you can order. It's Reality of Relativity. You can order through the thing, but anyone who is reading it, they won't find anything interesting in it. The time hasn't come to actually, because every single paragraph, you can write a whole 1,000-page book with it. It's just a small paragraph. Unless you have the same polarity to penetrate through the free radicals of sound waves, I call it, penetrate through that words, they each will expand into so many different thoughts and revelations and all that. And you can Google and Reality of Relativity, and you can order it. But if you think that you can make use of it, of course, But
A lot of things that you say just always makes my like light bulbs in my head. I'm like, yeah, it's things that like maybe I've thought of or the nature of my mind has gone through, but the way you explain it and the way you say it, it's like, of course. Oh God, that's how it
simple, in one word. So you want to say it in all these things in one word. There's a method. You want to check it, or have good faith in gods. All these gods exist. Not only in our head, every head. Yeah.
It's interesting because in the shamanic world, some people have taken a certain thing that they smoke and then they go into another space. But they always say, some of them, they've never seen Hindu gods before. And they go, how come I saw Hindu gods? I've never seen this before. Why do I see Ganesh? Always Ganesh.
Always Ganesh, because he's the first one you will see. No matter who does it, all right, Ganesh has to come because he is here at the entrance of the heaven. Yeah, at the entrance of the temple. So here also, when you come, before you go into the main area, he is seated at that kodikambam, that pole there. That is our spine. Yeah. So if you put this in a flat graph, you can see Ganesh. You pass Ganesh, the kodikambam. The kodikambam is the spine, and then there's another Ganesh seated there. Yeah, and then you pass that, and then you enter the heavenly world.
Well, they say, yeah. See, Ganesh, I've seen him say that, and the Om symbol for some reason.
Yeah, he's both Ganesh and Muruga, both are from the Om symbol. One came out of the sound, like Jesus Christ, and Ganesh, same. Jesus Christ also, in John number 1, it says, there was God, God was with, there was sound, sound was with God, God is sound. Jesus Christ. Here, Pranava Nadam. Nada, Pranava, the Om, the sound itself is Ganesh. Even the trunk itself is the Om, the shape, the Pranava shape. Lord Muruga is the light itself, the Pranava, the consciousness itself, the extreme heat, very powerful, he is quick to come. You pray to him, the first one to appear is Lord Ganesh or Lord Muruga. And Lord Muruga, you appear here, he's with you. And, in the form of child. A lot of people here, they come to this Kundrathu Kumaran Temple in Melbourne here. I've been here for 1.5 or 2 years. Upon his invitation, I came. When my time is finished, he will send me out. I hear so many people, I have met at least 9 or 10 people, families, who didn't have children for 7, 8 years, got children. yeah, who had 6 or 7 miscarriages, having children, who had so many different problems, yeah, because he's the king of the endocrine organs, reproductive organ here, yeah, that is also one of the his arupada, yeah, and then the thymus, which is the where he is actually the warrior, the creator of the king of the Sambada and Bombada there, which is the red cells and the white cells. Here he controls the entire system here. And then the Asura here, he brought it under his control, the pituitary gland, always passionate. So the power is, he is the power. So when you submit yourself to him, when you pray to him, and then and then also here in the earth they see the Milky Way, according to the recent finding in the 2023 finding, they say there's a blob came and take the entire Milky Way within itself. Yeah? Here also, he comes new, replacing Indra, getting rid of this Asura, taking control over the army. In the early days, the science watched the same thing happening. Before, the hypothalamus is the main organ controlling all these things in the most ancient species. But in the recent species, pineal gland is taking over most of the reign and the jobs of the hypothalamus. So same nature, different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same thing. And he himself is so powerful. At this moment, in Judaism and in the old Bible, they call him King David. Here we call him Kumara or Murugan, or Kumara means the young one, Murugan, the serve-world, Arupade Murugan, Senadipati, the different nature of him, yeah, which is pineal gland also is observed as doing. And then in South America, Africa, and all, in many other continents, he's known as Ku. In the ancient time, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, he was prayed as Ku, very powerful being, but very sensitive. Very sensitive and very giving at the same time. He expects complete devotion to him, because he's a good child. And you coming here is nothing but the will of the gods, and wherever your path you take, they have a path for you. They have a design for you. And I wish you all the best. Any other question you want to ask?
Just that, did you want to share anything with anyone that's watching right now? Is there a message or something you want to say?
Yeah, what I would say is, if you are a very religious person seeking, fear not. Go down the path and completely you can. If you go down completely, you will find. A lot of people say God doesn't exist. The modern gurus, none of them have walked this path of what was recommended in old religion. The religious text wasn't given without a method. Old religion gave us, Bible gave us Lent, 40 days of fasting. The 5 fasting that you need to continue. You do that, Jesus will help. Quran gives us Ramadan. Buddhism gives us its own fasting period. Whatever these beings exist, but end of the day, you alone, at the essence of life, you alone is the king of this universe. Always remember, life is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravi. That was incredible.
Yeah.
And I hope to keep learning more, and I'll definitely be coming here more often. Yeah, I just can't thank you enough. I'm very honored that the gods have invited me here, and I'm hoping I can, do my part too, give back to,
So nice meeting. So wonderful. God bless you. Yeah, I'm glad that I met you, because I think you have a very great path. Just the beginning for you now.
Yeah, it feels like it's just starting.
Look in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, in 20 years' time. Just a nice path, whatever it takes. When the test comes, that means he's rubbing you to clean you better.
Wow.
Yeah, when the testing time. After that, all will be fine. God bless you.
So much.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
God bless you. Thank you.